So if you're anything like me, you picked up Xbox Game Pass for $1 so you could play Back for Blood, and you've been staring at the wall of other games that are offered on the service. Maybe you're thinking you'll play through Halo again.
Shut up! God damn it!
Or maybe you'll load up Battlefield 1 and then get sniped across the map over and over and over again until you remember why you uninstalled it in the first place. Then you'll gravitate towards the smaller games or indie releases that you never got around to playing. Nostalgic games. For me, that's Mirror's Edge, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which are on this library. You might have even forgot that those games existed, but I didn't. Hi, I'm Mason, and Mirror's Edge is basically my perfect video game. What do you look for in a favorite or a perfect game for you? Like, obviously it's subjective. Like, some of my friends enjoy MMORPGs. They like to raid and grind until they reach seemingly unobtainable power levels and gear.
Oh, it's a lot better than we usually do.
Alright, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Oh my god, he just ran in.
Some of my friends like the pressure of competition from FPS games like Valorant or Siege, or any of the Battle Royale games that seem to be churned out at Disney sweatshop pace.
Rotate, 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 grenade, hide, pre-fire, hide, crouch, hide, rotate, boom, 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 da-da.
And of course, there's the gluttons for punishment who will consume FromSoft games like toddlers consumed handfuls of sand.
I honestly, this is just dumb. This is not in gameplay. This is just like dying simulator. This is fucking brain dead.
Personally, for me, I enjoy satisfying movement controls and problem solving. Think of games like Mirror's Edge, obviously, but Ghost Runner. Super hot. Phantom Abyss. I've actually been playing Cluster Truck on Game Pass, which is kind of what made me want to make this video.
Excuse me, sir? There seems to be a big pile of what the fuck right here on my plate today. Could you deal with that, please? I need a hero.
What all of those things do for me is flow. To quote Wikipedia, in psychology, a flow state, being in the zone, is a mental state in which a person is performing an activity and fully immersed in the feeling of energized focus, full involvement and enjoyment in the process of the activity. Basically, flow is the complete absorption in what you're doing. It's when you are like lean forward into the monitor, chewing on your lip or sticking out your tongue like some thought on TikTok, forgetting to blink or breathe because your perception of time is completely gone, and the world and time operates outside of your focus. I'm sure you've seen it at MLG tournaments or speedrunners face cams. You've probably felt it yourself with certain games too.
Oh, thank God. Take him down.
Take him down. Beat, 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 beat. Dump. Dead. Wait, I'm fine. Holy shit, I did it! Holy shit!
Mirror's Edge kind of popped that mental cherry for me. Well, actually, the demo on 360 did, which is, it's literally the tutorial for the game, is the demo. And I played it over and over and over again. I had like tasted little glimpses of flow playing through the skate games growing up, but I'd never experienced it as like an intentional design choice before. Mirror's Edge came out in 2008. I was 12 years old and really into like Call of Duty 3 specifically.
Oh, that guy stole my kill. Oh, this is sick. I like this. What?
Fighting in the arena in Oblivion.
I love the way the combatants move. It's like an erotic dance.
Consuming way too much content on the internet.
Tell me, where is Gandalf? For I much desire to speak with you.
My entire social life was basically exclusively Xbox Live at this point in my life. I was also really big into games journalism and games news on YouTube. When the trailer released for Mirror's Edge, it instantly enraptured me. Solar Field's gorgeous score comes in with these like swelling pads, and we see all of this is real in-game footage, and then it cuts to the iconic first level of the game. All of the contrast between the clinically white buildings and the bright red obstacles and this hyper reflective glass, it was instantly iconic and recognizable as a distinct style that I hadn't seen before. But what really stood out to me was how smooth it looked, the movement specifically. I'd never seen a game look so fluid. And also at 12, the promise that something was all in-game footage was exciting, rather than the jaded response to that phrase that I've got now. Parkour had been filling the zeitgeist of extreme sports fans for a few years at this point, but hadn't really hit like mainstream audiences yet, like it would in the years that follow. Like we had basically Casino Royale, that crane chase, Assassin's Creed had come out, so there was a little bit of that like janky wall running stuff, or Prince of Persia, but nothing really captured what it would be like to be behind the eyes of someone jumping over these insane rooftop jumps, or capture the feeling of freedom that free running seems to provide in terms of like level traversal and stuff. This was before the parkour episode of The Office.
Truck to refrigerators to dumpster, 360 spin onto the palace, backflip gainer into the trash can.
Yeah, yeah.
Parkour, parkour!
Parkour!
I'm right behind you, Andy! Come on!
Yeah!
And Ultimate Parkour Challenge on MTV.
Witness MTV's Ultimate Parkour Challenge. From the craziest heights to the thickest terrain, the masters of parkour will put it all on the line as they attempt the impossible.
Before that, when I first installed the demo, not only did the movement feel as fluid as it looked in the trailer, but the controls were super intuitive. there was like an immediate connection for me that my button presses were directly controlling all of my movement, and that any mistakes that I made felt like my fault rather than faulty game or level design. It was a similar experience to, like, I grew up playing Tony Hawk games and then switching over to Skate. That sense of like gravity was really there, and that feeling that your inputs really did something physically. You feel that immersion a lot deeper due to probably the physics and that sense of skill development in yourself. You have all the tools available to you to traverse the levels right from the start of the game, and the only thing that's keeping you from pulling off crazy runs is your ability as a player to utilize the tools that are provided to you. It's kind of like Dark Souls, where you can beat the entire game without ever like having to level up your character, because it is fundamentally way more about player skill than it is anything about character ability. Learning the perfect pathways and controls is what makes me revisit Mirror's Edge over and over again. It's also the biggest flaw that I've got with Catalyst, the sequel. All of your traversal skills are locked behind this generic uninspired skill tree, so you're hard locked out of certain aspects of the gameplay until you've earned enough skill points to level up Faith. Despite its flaws, I do enjoy Catalyst as a game. I think DICE just kind of missed the point of what made the first game such a hit. Catalyst focused on building out the world of Mirror's Edge in a way, opting to tell a more broad, expansive plot of totalitarianism and corporate control to make this like new open world feel worthy of exploring. The problem with that focus, though, is that the plot to Mirror's Edge is arguably the least important aspect of the first game. If you condense Mirror's Edge 1 into a single video, like all the cutscenes into a single video, it's like 20 minutes long. They give you just enough plot to motivate your character to keep doing things from chapter to chapter, and tension builds constantly and consistently due to how those episodes play out. Catalyst, on the other hand, is like 3 hours of plot broken up between traversal points of the open world and side missions like the time trials and deliveries that happen between these major plot points. This kind of start and stop tension makes things feel less coherent. Add to that how empty the world of Catalyst actually is when you're playing it. It really makes it difficult to kind of focus and maintain flow, which is ironic because flow is actually a mechanic in Catalyst. Like, that's the name of one of the things. Why would I go run a time trial over and over, grind it out to get a good score when I'm solely responsible for stopping KSEC from creating a virus that will mind control millions of people? It's like Faith's priorities don't really stack up there. The plot of the first game is way more focused and personal. It makes the player motivated to continue. Like, they want to prove that you are innocent and your sister is innocent in a large conspiracy. I think the first game just really strikes the perfect balance of linear storytelling and creative player choice. Not choice in how the game plays out necessarily, but just your freedom and control over the movement and how you get from point A to point B. It tells you just enough of a story to keep you engaged, but doesn't water it down with things that have no impact on the story. It's quality over quantity. Mirror's Edge 1 is actually a pretty short game. You could probably beat Mirror's Edge 1 in a single sitting. Catalyst, on the other hand, is 15 to 20 hours of the main missions and, you know, an infinite amount of time if you're trying to collect everything or run time trials and get like leaderboard scores or whatever. Playing the first game is a far more gratifying and fulfilling experience than its sequel, and that's because of the flow. Anyways, at this point I'm kind of rambling though, so really go play Mirror's Edge if you haven't, and if you have, play it again. It's still a really pretty game, even it's over a decade old. It's on Game Pass and EA Access probably, and it's like 20 bucks on Steam, but it goes on sale for like $5 all the time. Yeah, that's my Mirror's Edge rant. It's good. Go play it.